What's up, guys? Ian here, coach of your Ladner Lanturn, bringing you guys a Week 9 team builder of the WPL, taking on Jake in the Miami Mimikyus. Very interesting matchup today. He has the Weavile, Super Z user, Florges, Porygon 2, Tentacruel, Aloma Mola, Golurk, Megalodios, Ferrothorn, Emboar, Heliolisk Z user, and Yanmega Z user. Lots of scary offensive threats. Excuse me, his fat is not scary at all, it's just really annoying. And I'm hoping he brings a lot of it and less of the offensive stuff. He's got priority users in the Weavile with Ice Shard and Emboar with Sucker Punch, Hazard Setters and Tentacruel with Toxic Spikes, Golurk with Rocks, and Ferrothorn with Rocks and regular Spikes. Removal options in Florges with Defog, Tentacruel with Rapid Spin, Megalodios with Defog, and Yanmega with Defog. 4 times weaknesses in the Weavile to Fighting, Ferrothorn to Fire, and the Yanmega to Rock. I believe I have a few of those covered. I don't think I actually have a rock mon. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm not bringing a rock mon. I thought about bringing Lycanroc Dusk, which didn't have that bad of a matchup, honestly. Definitely could have come, but I had some more important things that I felt had a matchup here instead. So, in terms of what I don't think he's going to bring, Florges is at the top of the list. I don't really think he's going to bring Florges. It doesn't make that much sense, especially now that I have Drapion and Mega Beedrill. It kind of just dies to those. It can't really touch Registeel either, so I don't really see a reason for him to bring the Florges. I'm sorry, I have to skip this song. It's way too loud every single time. I wish the playlist started on a different one, but it doesn't. Tentacruel is another mon I don't think necessarily comes. Is there a way for this to go lower? There. Jesus Christ. Tentacruel is another mon that I don't think necessarily comes. It doesn't have a good matchup against Zapdos or Garchomp, so we'll sort of see about that. Yeah, I'm not entirely sold on the team that I'm bringing, personally. I think this is a fairly difficult matchup for me. On paper, his offense, even though it looks kind of like it does pretty well against my team. And some of his bulk has a good matchup, i.e. the Ferrothorn is pretty much the only thing out of his bulk that has a good matchup because I don't have a fire type on my team. I didn't draft a fire type at all, so maybe a tier 5 fire would have been better. But Dugong has some really good use this match, so we'll talk about that in a second here. So first up is Mega Beedrill. Pivots all over his team, pretty much for free. Gets items off of things. Excuse me, like the Porygon 2 with the knockoff. Again, U-turn really threatens the Megalodios as well, especially because I can run Adamant. It threatens it a lot. Poison Jab is mainly there for the Florges, but it's a nice neutral hit against the Emboar. Should do quite a shitload of damage to that. Same with the Heliolisk. Same with the Yanmega. I thought about running Drill Run for the Emboar and the Tentacruel. I don't think it's necessary. Really don't think it's necessary. T-Spikes are really good for wearing down his walls and getting a lot of residual on his offense, so Rocks plus T-Spikes would be really useful this game. I've got Rocks on the Chomp, as we'll see later. I'm outrunning Weavile with the speed investment. Obviously, Ice Shard will obliterate me, and there's nothing I can do about that, so this is what we're going with here. A tiny bit of HP, Max Attack Adamant. Zapdos is next. I'm running Defog, Heat Wave, Volt Switch, and Roost. Just really fast set. This will outspeed Yanmega, and a lot of bulk on the HP side, sorry. I didn't really know where to invest in this. Weavile's killing me anyways. I can't really live hits from Emboar. So I'm just a good natural Yanmega check. I think he might bring Tinted Lens specifically for the Zapdos rather than speed boosting variant, so I'm not as worried about a speed boosting variant. I also don't think he bothers with the speed boost variant just because I've got Lycanroc Dusk on the team anyways, so what's the point in that? And again, like I said, Lycanroc Dusk looks half decent here. I can reasonably take Heliolisk hits. I can reasonably take Tentacruel hits. Same with Megalodios. This mainly just sits on his walls and is my best way to deal with Ferrothorn. I forgot that I did bring fire coverage for it in the Heat Wave. I've got Volt Switch rather than Thunderbolt because I want to pivot out on things too, especially really annoying things like a Aloma Mola maybe. Porygon 2 potentially. If it traces static, that would be very unfortunate as well, so I don't want to get in that situation. But yeah, Defog Roost is the other filler moves there. Defog because he could bring his own hazard stack, so I would want to get rid of that shit right away. Beedrill and Dugong don't appreciate rocks, neither does Zapdos. I'm bringing all of my rocks weaknesses this week, so rocks cannot stay up on the field on my side. Again, I'm outrunning Yanmega with this, and that's pretty much that. Dugong is next. Perish Trap Song, which is literally the same set I brought all 3 times. I really thought that I would utilize an actual attacking set, but nope. Dugong is sticking with the trapping set. This beats Alomomola 1v1, beats Porygon 2 1v1 unless he's got Thunderbolt, and even then it should be okay because I am Spidef. So if he's uninvested, then Thunderbolt should not beat me. He would get a physical defense physical defense download boost, so I can trap and kill it. Tentacruel dies, loses to this. Megalodios potentially loses to this. So does the Ferrothorn potentially loses to this as well. I'm not sure how much of my games he's Florges as well. So basically, like, all of his fat loses to this Dugong, which is the whole idea behind it. I brought this same set against Nacho to trap the Toxapex, so I have no idea how much scouting Jake has done in my games to see that this Dugong might be a bring for me. Heliolisk might show up as a Primarina answer, and if that's the case, I've got to be really careful with this. I'd like to Encore Alomomola into like Wish or something as I kill it. That'd be great. I went with an Encore set rather than a Rest set because I felt like it was more effective for me to always have the option to kill one of his walls with this, is essentially what it comes down to. This is also my best Icicle Crash switch in. I do 4 times resist the Icicle Crash from the Weavile, so if I find out that he's banded into Icicle Crash, then this is maybe an alright option to switch into it. That's like pretty much the only time though. Weavile shreds my team, and yeah, we're in a really bad spot against Weavile, so that's basically all there is to it. I'm expecting a 4 attacks Weavile set to come. Potentially Life Orb would be great. If he is Choice Banded and he does lock himself into Icicle Crash, then I can beat him with the Dugong, but besides that, I lose to it. So I fully expect to just absolutely drop to that Weavile set. 4 attacks is coming. He's bringing Poison Jab for Primarina. He's bringing Icicle Crash, he's bringing Icicle Shard, he's bringing Knockoff, and Low Kick. Wait, what? No, that doesn't make sense. He needs 5 attacks then. Wait, what? So Registeel might wall this. Well, okay, now I'm sad. I really think he's got to bring Low Kick for the Registeel. I was considering running a Light Metal Registeel this week just to beat the Weavile, but I don't know where I would slot it in, man. I really don't know where I would slot it in. Because if I bring the Registeel, then Emboar tears through me. So let's go over my pseudo Emboar check, which is Garchomp. I'm just kind of trying to punish it with Rocky Helmet Rough Skin, a little bit punish it from just spamming Flare Blitz against me, because it can do that. It can very easily just do that. And if I brought Registeel, he would just click Superpower anyways. But yeah, Earthquake, Stealth Rock, Flamethrower, Toxic. Flamethrower there for the Ferrothorn. Realistically, Zapdos and Garchomp can both deal with the Ferrothorn. If we don't see Ferrothorn, I will be very sad, but also happy, because then he can't really get rocks up against me unless he's got rocks on Golurk. So, yeah, Earthquake should deal with the Emboar, etc. Heliolisk. I basically forced the Heliolisk into a situation where you can't just click Volt Switch every single time, which is great. Deals with Tentacruel to an extent. I've got Toxic there to catch the Alomomola, or the P2, or the Florges, or the Megalodios switching in on said Earthquake against, I don't know, Heliolisk maybe, locked into Volt Switch, something along those lines. Rocks, again, really important to get the chip on the Mega against him with the Rocks. It'll wear down Weavile too, which is really clutch, because I don't want Weavile to just outright beat me. Yeah, enough speed on here for Tentacruel, so I'll outrun a fast Tentacruel. A little bit of attack investment, and then max HP just to punish the Emboar a little bit more. It means it'll take more recoil damage from Flare Blitz, along with the Rough Skin Rocky Helmet damage. Rough Skin is, what, 12%? Yeah, so Rough Skin is 12% and Rocky Helmet's 16%, so he's already taking 28% from just hitting me, and he can't kill me. He's got to hit me twice to kill me. So basically, if he wants to roll with, like, breaking my Garchomp with his Emboar, for whatever reason, then he has to take, what did I say again, is 28. So he's got to take 56% just from Rough Skin Rocky Helmet, and then odds are, he'll kill himself with Flare Blitz Recoil after that. If he's a Scarf set, and if he's a Banded set, I'll be able to kill him after he's taken Rough Skin Rocky Helmet. So that's the whole idea behind Chomp. Mimikyu is a last-minute ad. I've gone over this team twice. Big ups and shoutouts to Evan for helping me this week. He was a great help in determining maybe where the team should have gone. So originally I had Beware in this slot, and I actually changed something else up. Um, so I ended up having Beware and Drapion in the place of Mimikyu and Reuniclus, and Beware's job was to eat knockoffs, but it couldn't eat Icicle Crashes, so that was kind of the problem behind that. I was running Normalium MZ Beware. I thought it was an alright idea. Embor still blew through it, Megalodion still blew through it. It was a decent check to the Golurk as well, which I was finding, but I still didn't really have reliable answers to Weavile or Heliolisk. I may or may not regret the Beware, just because I think Beware would have been an alright answer to some things on the team. Like, again, physically, defensively, I could check the Weavile and check the Golurk to an extent, but because Icicle Crash doesn't make contact, Weavile was still doing like 72% or something stupid with Icicle Crash, so I could never switch into that twice. Or even once, to be honest. So Mimikyu's in the place of the Beware. Ghost EMZ set with Shadow Claw, Drain Punch, Swords Dance, and Shadow Sneak. Depending on how bulky his Megalodios is, Sneak might be able to pick it off earlier rather than later. Weavile 2, in theory, I can set up on a Weavile and then Drain Punch it, although he will likely kill me with Crash if he's banded. Yeah, Shadow Claw should obliterate a lot of his team, though. I'm wondering if he might be Kasib Berry Golurk, although he might also be Colbur Berry Golurk to lure the Drapion, which is otherwise a stop to the floor just in the Megalodios. Just running enough speed on here for Yanmega, and then I've got max attack, a little bit of HP on there. Ghost UMZ is a really nice nuke from the Megalodios. Even if I'm not boosted, it should do quite a chunk to it. And he doesn't really have the best ways of boosting his defense, like his physical defense. He's just kind of got to be like physically bulky, and that's about it. He could definitely reflect type me. I think that'd be very dangerous, but if he wanted to do that, he could reflect type me and roll with the Shadow Ball set. Like a mono Shadow Ball set against my team wouldn't be half bad. If he's expecting something else to deal with Beware, maybe. I'm not entirely sure on that front. Last but not least is a very last minute change to Reuniclus. I had an AV Drapion set with a very specific EV spread on here that was meant to deal with Florges Megalodios. It could tank Yanmega, it could tank Heliolisk, but, and it was another knockoff answer for the P2, it could kind of deal with Weavile, but like not really. So instead we're running with this Reuniclus set, which was Evan's suggestion because it does look really good offensively against his team. If I can get a Trick Room up, this Reuniclus might just claim some kills, is the idea behind it at least. So Life Orb Magic Guard with Psyshock, Focus Blast, Shadow Ball, Trick Room. Again, if I get the Trick Room up, I'm in a really good spot. I am outspeeding a lot of his team with my sweepers, so Trick Room is kind of anti-synergistic here, besides the Reuniclus, and this should actually be 0 IVs. Yeah, that's weird. Ferrothorn will still outslow me, so that's really scary, but Leech Seed can't do shit to me. Biggest worry is if the Ferrothorn is carrying knockoff and knocks off my Life Orb. Psyshock will 2-shot the Florges. The idea behind this set is that I'm not 3-hit KO'd by Heliolisk, Hyper Voice, or Thunderbolt if he's a Life Orb Heliolisk, so I can live those hits, get up a Trick Room, and just start obliterating things, honestly. Heliolisk will drop to a... No Bulk Heliolisk will drop to a Psyshock from full. Focus Blast is there for the Weavile, for the Porygon 2, and for the Ferrothorn. Psychic hits basically anything else, except for the Megalodios, which I needed Shadow Ball for. So I had to be 3 attacks, and it could not be Recover, unfortunately. I would have loved to be Trick Room Recover, because then I could have put myself in a really good spot. If he is non-boosting item Weavile, I have a 62.5% chance to live a knockoff. If he's like Scarf Weavile, for example, Scarf Jolly Weavile, then I can get away with that. I do think he has to be Jolly. I don't see him being Adamant. Because if he is Adamant Weavile, and I'm max speed Lycanroc Dusk like I would have planned to be against Megalodios, then my Accelerock will go before his Ice Shard and he won't be able to pick me off. So it's really important because Adamant Weavile hits 349, which is 1 point above base 109s, but 1 point below base 110s. So again, it's really important that he is Jolly against my team, which is step 1 of being able to live Weavile's hits, is him not being a boosting nature. So yeah, I'm really scared about this matchup. I don't know, man. It just feels like such a weird matchup for me on paper. I'm not sure how I would approach this if this was a playoffs match, but I'm just sort of slapping stuff onto the team. At 6 wins, I'm feeling in a really comfortable position for playoffs that I don't feel like I need to win all of my last games. I just need to pull some differential out of them so that I don't like fall into the gutter of differential as well as being 6-6 if I do happen to go 6-6. One more win is pretty much all it needs, all I need to clinch playoffs essentially. So we're looking to pick that up against Jake here. In terms of what I did not bring the Pro Marina. It looked kind of bad. Like, it still can't really tank Embor hits, and it's slower, so I just died a Wild Charge. It's not really a Megalodios check. It's not really a Porygon 2 check. It's definitely an Aloma Mola check, though. Moonblast spam is pretty free against the Ferrothorn, or sorry, except against the Ferrothorn and the Tentacruel. So things to think about there with the Pro Marina. Lycanroc Dusk, again, like I said, it's got a really solid matchup here, so I would definitely... if I was building this team 4 days ago, I would have looked back and I would have been like, hey, Lycanroc Dusk's not that bad. Registeel, again, it can deal with the Florges, can kind of deal with Weavile depending on his coverage. So if he wants to go with the Poison Jab, I don't think he necessarily needs to go with the Poison Jab. I think it's much more pressing that he goes with Low Kick for the Registeel. If Weavile is taking the spot of Golurk or Embor, if both Golurk and Embor come, then he has no reason to run Low Kick, and he will definitely have Poison Jab. Beware, again, I had it on the team. It doesn't look that bad, except against the special attackers that are faster than it, and the Weavile. Otherwise, Beware is a really, really solid breaker for all of his walls, and I was running a shitload of speed. I believe I was running enough speed for no speed Megalodios, which is like max speed Adamant, I think, Beware. Or was it Jolly? It was really close. Really close. I might have been max speed Jolly Beware to outspeed something with no speed investment, and it was, yeah, I would have outsped a lot of stuff with the Beware, despite it being so slow, and I'm kind of regretting not bringing it. We'll see in the match. Same with the Drapion. I thought that Drapion set looked really solid. Just a little bit sad that Reuniclus looked better than it, unfortunately, and honestly, I guess it more comes down to Beedrill looking better than it. I think Beedrill is a lot more useful this game for me, and so I'll be hoping to get up the T-Spikes, get some really good chip on a lot of stuff, and shut down his walls, and then hopefully be able to deal with his offense. I think his walls are easy enough for me to deal with. It's the offense that I'm having problems with. So that's going to be it for me, guys. I've rambled on for long enough. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I will catch you guys for the match against Jake and the Miami Mimikyus.